What's up everybody, Skippy67 here and welcome back to another Elden Ring build video, and today I want to be taking a look at one of my favorite weapons from this new DLC, the Dragon Hunter's Great Katana. You can find this weapon after defeating Ancient Dragonman in the Dragon's Pit, and it's part of the new weapon type called Great Katanas. It scales with strength and dexterity equally and deals purely physical damage. Now the skill this weapon possesses is called a Dragon Wound Slash. It's designed to hunt colossal dragons. The skill cloaks the ornament with a jagged gravel stone aura before performing a high leaping slash. You can also charge this attack to fire off the aura. Another nice addition to this weapon and skill is that it deals extra damage against dragon enemies and ancient dragon type enemies. It's about 30% for regular dragons and about 15% for ancient dragons. Now before I move on to my stats, I just want to ask you guys, if you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to subscribe and check out my other videos. Anyways, let's get going. Now my current stats are 56 vigor, 25 mind, 35 endurance, 50 strength, 48 dexterity, 9 intelligence, 25 faith and 8 arcane. Now as you can see, I am currently level 177 because I am in New Game Plus, but the most important part about these stats are that you level up strength and dexterity about equally and that you do have 25 faith. Now I get into why you need 25 faith in a minute. Like I say in all of my build videos, vigor, might and endurance you can level up however you want. Me personally, I like to play with a lot of vigor and a lot of endurance. I like the, rock heavy armor. 25 might, I say it's about right for this build. The skill this weapon has doesn't use a lot of FP points, so I think 25 is about right, combining the two spells that we're going to be using. Strength and dexterity you want to level up about equally because they do have the same scaling. Intelligence and arcane we're not going to be using, so you can just keep it the way it is. Now let's take a look at the talismans that we're going to be using for this build. First up, I've got the Godfrey icon, which raises the attack power of charged spells and skills by 15%. Now charging up the L2 will actually fire off the aura around the sword and just give it more range and more damage, so that's why we're going to be using the Godfrey icon. Next up, I've got the two-handed sword talisman. And like the name says, it enhances attack with two-handed weapons by 15%. You're basically going to be always two-handing this weapon, so why not get that extra damage? Now this is a new talisman. You can find it at the Temple Town ruins, and it's found inside the highest structure after the fight with the Horned Warrior. And then number 3 is going to be the Shard of Alexander. It greatly boosts the attack power of skills by 15%. And last but not least, I've got the Green Turtle Talisman. It raises the stamina recovery speed by 8 per second, so that is 17.7% more. One downside with this weapon's skill is that it does use quite a lot of stamina, so this Green Turtle Talisman will help you manage your stamina a little bit better and get that stamina back to get you using more of the skill. Now the two tiers I'm going to be using for my Wondrous Physique is the Opaline Heart tier, which it increases all damage negation by 50% for about 3 minutes. And then next up I'm going to be using the Stone Barb Cracked tier, which makes attacks more likely to break enemy stances in a mixed physique. The duration is about 30 seconds and has a 30% extra stance damage. Now after using this flask, you want to try to spam as many slashes as you can. The Stone Barbed Cracked tier will make it easier to get a stun on a boss for big damage. The Opaline Heart tier will give you extra protection during this time. And I recommend using this when you're deep in a boss battle or you're at a difficult second phase and you need that stance brace to get the victory or win. Whatever. Now the two spells I'll be using for this build is the Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength. Now Flame Grant Me Strength gives you a 20% boost in physical damage, which lasts for about 30 seconds. And the Golden Vow will give you 50% extra damage and 10% damage negation, which will last for about 80 seconds. Now these two spells I always use if I have the chance, doesn't matter what build I'm using. The reason for that is that the extra damage and the damage reduction is just a very nice extra to have in a boss fight. These two spells are not a necessity, like you don't have to use these two spells. I like using them, but it's not necessary. Now that will complete our build, and guys, I do have to be honest, I really love this weapon. It's a very good weapon overall with a very good weapon skill. It deals a lot of damage, it has a lot of features that I really like. So overall this weapon is one of my favorite weapons in the game, especially one of the new weapons from the DLC. Now guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you for sticking around to the end. Let me know what you think of this build, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye everybody.